in the house, Ambassador Felix FEK Nakpodia, our founding father, wanting to share his wealth of experience with us on vehicle fleet safety. So we are going to be done in 1 hour or less than an hour. Because I want us to sit put, listen to his slide, why he takes us through, and then at the end we could ask questions. Please, the network is not so good. When we are having difficulties, our secretary could continue with sharing the slide. Please be patient with us and let's see how this section goes. Once again, I say welcome everyone to this section. Thank you. Sek, do you have Papa's, do you have his bio?
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Okay. So please, can you read now and then usher him to the stage for the lecture? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, President. I want to welcome all of us here to this the 12th edition of our knowledge sharing series. Ambassador Felix FEK Nakpodia, for some of us who have known him over time, you know that he's a man of timber and caliber. His CVs, you cannot even exhaust the extent to which the CV is so kind of loaded. But I want to start with one. It's a fellow of Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. Is also a fellow of Institute of Engineers and Technicians, London. A fellow Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, London. A fellow Institute of Management Specialists, England. A fellow Chartered Institute of Transport Administration. A fellow Institute of Management Consultants. Member, Institute of Transportation Engineers, USA. Member, International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, London. Member, American Society of Safety Engineers, USA, which is safety professionals today. Member, Institute of Road Transport Engineers, London. Member, Institute of the Motor Industry, England. Member, Institute of Motor Industry, England. Member, Nigerian Institute of Training and Development. Founder and Unit Coordinator, SM and P Unit 17, Eastern of Federal Road Safety Commission. That is just a brief of our presenter today. There are more to that, which we are going to experience as we go ahead with the training this morning. So let's just unmute ourselves and give him a resounding welcome clap, please, because he deserves it as a founding father and of the ASSP. So please, let's unmute ourselves and give him a resounding welcome.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
So, Ambassador, you can now take the floor. Go ahead with your presentation.
Ambassador, you are welcome.
Hello. Hello, Secretary. Hello, Secretary.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think we're having. Yeah, I think we're having issues. Can you please help me share at your end?
Okay, just let me
Presido, I think both your phone and the laptop are connected, so there's an echo.
Hear me first before I disconnect. I want him to hear me first before I disconnect one. I sent to your email, sir.
Hope you can see the screen.
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. We can see. I can see. So to speak.
Okay. Apologies to everyone once more. I think you are through with his bio because we're cut off at a point.
Yes, I'm through with the bio. You can go ahead with the presentation.
Okay. So, Papa, on behalf of ASSP, we welcome you once more to this section. I want to thank you for all that you do for us. Thanks for the sacrifice. Thanks for putting ASSP to the state it is right now. It's a privilege to have you once more. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome all of you to this knowledge sharing series. This morning, we are going to talk on vehicle fleets. Vehicle fleet is incomplete without the safety involvement. If you do not involve safety into vehicle fleet, it is no more colorful, neither is it correct. Vehicle fleet, it provides a means for evaluating the safety performance of individual drivers and the fleet as a whole. It also provides a means for monitoring the effectiveness of the program. In dealing with drivers in the implementation of safe driving. This is the basic thing about it. Coffee is the effective management of the fleet by imbibing safety for the drivers, the passengers, and the vehicle itself. You see, the component is not complete without the driver, the passenger, and the vehicle. Both of them are just one entity because one cannot perform without the other one. So, if you look at the vehicle parts here, there is what we call vehicle cum body. The vehicle cum body is the empty body. And the vehicle cum body cannot operate without all these components. You can see the mirrors without side mirrors or inner view mirrors. There's no way you can drive properly. The hoods is there. The header and the nose panel, they are there. The tail lights. When we say tail lights, any lights behind a vehicle is a tail light. They are to give other road users information. Then we talk of the AC condensers. We talk of the doors. We talk of the radiator. We talk of fenders. We talk of the headlamp. We talk of the bumpers. We talk of the grease. You see, grease, if the grease are not there, the vehicle will not be decent enough. So it's not only helping to filter the air coming in, it also beautifies the vehicle. Now, what does it entail? vehicle policy. A policy audience hearing all I've been discussing with you.
Now we have a bit of network glitches, but now you are clear.
Are we still hearing him, or am I the only person? I'm not hearing anything again.
I'm hearing from this
We
end.
can't hear him. Yes, you are correct. We can't hear him.
But is he talking? We are only hearing the secretary, David.
I can see the slides, but I can't hear him speak.
You may need to get across to them, maybe on WhatsApp, and tell them that we are not getting them except the slide. Thank you.
Can you hear them?
Sorry, audience, for the network glitches we are experiencing. So we'll try to see how we'll overcome it. Ambassador, you can go ahead, please. Yeah, President, Ambassador can go ahead.
My audience, I hereby apologize because the network was giving us some difficult situations. Can I continue? Are you all hearing me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
What it entails.
Go ahead, Ambassador. Ambassador, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. We are talking of the vehicle fleet completely not right to operate. Then fleet vehicle maintenance, saying that vehicle properly maintained for power to be given to our vehicle, petrol, your oil, your water, your rubber bands. Therefore, vehicle maintenance is of vital importance. Then we talk of inspection. Inspection is very, very important. There is no way inspection, therefore, is quite important. Then we talk training. Can you or control drivers without training? Therefore, training is of vital importance. Is the biggest incentive you can give to an operator. Therefore, there is need for driver periodical training. Then again, we talk of the driver/passengers insurance. You see, once you have insurance policy for both your drivers and passengers, this even attracts people coming in time to time. Therefore, very, very important. You with me? Then we talk of monitoring for compliance. I hope my audience is hearing me.
Well,
Yes,
you're
sir.
driving. At some point, you drag. At some point, you come up clear.
Is my audience hearing me? I want to be convinced that my audience is
yes, I can hear you. Although we have some little glitches, but you can go ahead, sir.
Before I continue.
Go ahead, sir.
Science. Monitoring for compliance. Number one, when we fleet vehicle checklist. We are going to go through some of the checklists at the later part of this talks. Then we talk of vehicle tracking reports. You must track vehicle. Whenever you are tracking vehicle and the drivers, they are quite aware that you are doing the tracking, it gives them sense of responsibility. Therefore, the tracking is very, very important. Then IVMS, in-vehicle monitoring system. All these are tracks that will let us know. They will record the driver's bad driving, and at the tail end, you can replay it to see the performance of the driver. That's the purpose of the in-vehicle monitoring system. Then we talk of microsan. Microsan, if you are negotiating a curve with not a specified speed, there is tendency that it will be recorded. Therefore, at the end, when it is played back, it will indicate that the driver drove recklessly in a negotiating curve. Because there's a saying that trust no curve until you reduce your speed. Whenever you are negotiating, remember that the centrifugal force is there. The inner tire travels little, while the outer one travels wider. Therefore, there is need for a microsan to be installed in vehicles. Then we talk of speed limiters. Speed limiters, that helps you to regulate your speed. When I say regulate your speed, it is not the speed limiter that will regulate it itself. It will compel the driver to regulate his speed, because driving above speed limit is not acceptable. Drivers who drive like lightning, you know, sometimes they crash like thunder, so we don't want overspeeding. Then we talk of the vehicle logbook. The logbook is one of the documentation which we use in knowing. We are going to discuss it later. I have a comprehensive vehicle logbook, so we are coming to that later. Then journey management chart, we also have it. Then traveler's manifest. This was introduced in Nigeria by members of the Federal Road Safety Commission. The purpose of the traveler's manifest is in case of accident or in case of emergency, your details are there, your data, they are there, so that reference can be made to your next of kin for any emergency. Note, fleet operators are encouraged to make it a fact of their company's safety culture. Culture is something you build in. Therefore, every fleet operator is encouraged to make it a fact of their company's safety culture. This culture should reach every employee who gets behind the wheel, not only the driver. Such commitment is expected to start from top management, because why we say top management is that you cannot tell people what to do and you're not doing it. Therefore, it is extremely important. Then we talk of the benefits. What are actually, do you do anything without benefit? Without any benefit, the purpose of doing something is defeated. Therefore, it offers the establishment, I'm talking of the company, better image from increased driver care and courtesy. Courtesy is at least something that attracts, something like respect that attracts people to come to you. Then cheaper insurance from better claims. You will agree with me that the less you have accident, the less you have repairs, the better you have good insurance. Then low operational cost. Once your vehicle is properly maintained, your drivers are trained, the rest assured that your operational cost will really be low from fewer vehicle repairs. Like, let's take example of when we are talking of vehicle fleet, do not forget that somebody like Dangote, that is truck fleet. So we should not just minimize it to, or think that it's only little vehicles or small vehicles or buses that operate the fleet. Truck fleet, we also have it. Less downtime for vehicles from better vehicle handling. Once you handle your vehicle properly, there is tendency that there will be no downtime. If there is any downtime, it will be to the barest minimum. There will be decrease in accident because your drivers are trained. Your movement is being always monitored, effective control. Therefore, there may be no accident or there will be reduced accident. Then we have more effective fleets. We have more effective fleets. Then, after that, we also have benefits for personnel. When I say personnel, everybody in the vehicle is a personnel, including the driver. So both the driver, the passengers, they will have greater safety in their environment. They will have improved attitude of mind. Once you have improved attitude of mind, you are compelled to do the thing in a happy way. Therefore, it attracts customers or passengers to always patronize such a fleet. Then we talk of sure knowledge that they work for a caring employer. Once you are an employer and you care for your workers, there is tendency that you will have more workers. You receive more application because your condition of service to them is very, very proper. Improved level of concentration for the fact that they are aware that there's a vehicle fleet system in the operation. It gives them improved level of concentration. Then you are recognized for your special skill. You are also recognized for your special skill. Skill is performance. When you are able to perform, let's come to the movement logbook. In the movement logbook, you see a provision for dates. The date the driver is taking off is supposed to be recorded. This will sanitize the driver's movement. Once the driver is aware of his logbook with the date written, the vehicle number written, the driver's name will also be written. Then the fuel position as at the time of departure will be there. Speedometer reading on the time of departure will also be there so that you do not go on an unauthorized journey because it's going to indicate that the speedometer is more than where you are sent to. Then the time you are going out is very, very essential so that they will know how long the journey will take you, considering the kilometers. Then we talk of time in. Once the driver is aware of time out and time in, that we put sanitizing in the way of his driving. Then we talk of speedometer reading on arrival. You see that first and foremost, we took speedometer reading on departure, then on arrival. Then the journey manager is having that column of remark. It is not the driver. Everything about the logbook is going to be assessed by the journey manager. So that is about the logbook. We talk of journey management charts. We have dates there again. If you look at the note, pre-trip safety talk must be given to the driver before departure. You see, It's like tax hazard analysis. Whenever you want to carry out a job, the type of job you are going for, you will be given a brief, safety brief. So we talk of the dates of departure. We are talking of the vehicle number. We are talking of speedometer reading again, talking of fuel position. Then the location, the destination stroke location, it will be entered into the journey management chart so that you do not deviate from the route, because that is another route violation. In investigation of accidents, that is always involved, whether you deviated from your route. Then purpose of the trip, is it official or private? It must be entered. Then the proposed route. The proposed route is of vital importance. But take note that in case there is an obstruction, you have every right to use your communication gadget to call your journey manager that there's an obstruction, and he can give you alternative route, or on your own, you can take alternative route. But therefore, you have every right to take another route if there's an obstruction. Number of passengers. Everybody in your vehicle, including you, is a passenger. So there is need for them to know the number of passengers to avoid carrying unauthorized passenger, because in case of accident, which we do not pray for, if there's an unauthorized passenger, it attracts a greater problem. Then the type of load you conveyed, to avoid you taking some other loads. The type of load you conveyed will be there. If you have a way B, it will also be entered into your way B. Then the time you are going out. Then, is this journey authorized? That's journey approved. The journey manager will now sign that is approved. Whenever you are given authority to do something, you will agree with me that you will do that thing in a proper form. You do it in a better way. Therefore, authority is of vital importance. Then the time you come in will also be recorded before overall remark by the journey manager. So this is the little about journey management charts. Remember that during questions, if you have anything, we will treat them. I earlier told you that a vehicle properly maintained is a journey half done. Before you go, there is a form that the periodic vehicle checklist. They are going to check your vehicle after entering the number, and they will start indicating whether the vehicle is functional. That component, not the vehicle, that particular component, is it functional? Is it not functioning well? Is it faulty or not available? You can see them at the key. If you have good, it means it's functioning. If you have stroke, not functioning well. If you have X, it is faulty. Then you have NA, it's not available. Then we talk of the driver. The driver name will be there. Your driver's license. Do not forget, your driver's license is not a part of vehicle papers. Your vehicle papers is insurance, roadworthiness, vehicle license. But a driver's license is a certificate of competence for only the operator. And without driver's license, you are not allowed to carry out any driving. Then nowadays, some of the companies, they do not have enough confidence on Nigerian driver's license. Sorry to say this. On their own, they decided to have their personal driver's permits. Until you have the national driver's license, you cannot be tested on company driving permit. Take note of that. Until you have the national driver's license, on the strength of that, you can be trained and be recertified for driving permit in any company. Then we talk of the insurance. If the insurance is up to date, it will be marked. Roadworthiness, is it up to date? Yes, it will be marked. What of the condition of the engine? Is there knocking sound, or is not working properly, or is vibrating? You mark it. Then we talk of the body.
of the vehicle. We talk of tires. Take note about tires. About tires, we can't give a comprehensive lectures here, but if you are using ply tire, it must be ply. If you are using radial tire, it must be radial. We do not want front, radial, back, ply. Then again, you must ensure the most important tire in a vehicle is the spare tire. That's why the second name is there, emergency tire. You must have your spare tire. And gone are the days that we do not check our spare tire. If somebody can lie down in his own bed and die before the following morning, it means spare tire can also go flat without inspecting it. So be cautious of your spare tire. Then the bodywork. If there's any dent, there is need to indicate it. Because during the transfer of vehicle from one driver to the other, there may be question. This scratch was not there. But if it is marked in this sheet, then you are exonerated. Then we talk of the wiper stroke, the wash water. They must be functional, mostly during harmattan. During rainy season, this should be functional. So do not say your wiper is working, but the wash water is not working. There is need for you to test your horn before you go. There must be horn. We are not in America where we use less horn. We use more horns in Nigeria. Then we talk of the foot brake. Try it. There is what we call static brake test. Whenever you start your vehicle in the morning, pump it 3 times to ensure that you have effective brake. We call it static brake test before you take off. Then we talk of the handbrake. Handbrake is very, very important. A lot of us don't use a handbrake. Then we talk of the seat belts. Seat belt is very, very important. Seat belt. Remember that seat belt does not cause accident, does not prevent, but it helps to reduce the impact of an accident in case of any accident. So the seat belt is very, very important. We are talking of mirrors. We have blind spot mirrors. We have actual mirrors. Blind spot mirror will tell you the distance that a vehicle is coming and the size of that vehicle. So we must be able to make use of our mirror. There is what we call blind spot. Your mirrors, if areas that your mirrors cannot reach, there is a way you can adjust your eyes to see them. We talk of windscreen. Always, if you're unable to clean your vehicle properly, for the windscreen, please clear them so that you can see in a very bright way while driving out. Your lighting system should be checked. Your suspension should be checked. We are talking of things like shock absorbers and so on. Then ensure that you have fire extinguisher. Ensure that you have jack and wheel spanner, because if you have a flat tire without jack, you cannot do it. Without wheel spanner, you cannot do it. And if you have a jack without wheel spanner, it's incomplete. Then we talk of the speedometer. Ensure that it works. Battery, check your battery very well. Visor or visor. We are talking of that shade that prevents you, the ray of the sun, from coming into your eyes. Then we talk of your steering wheel, very, very important. Then we talk of your steering, your safety triangle. This is quite required. All these are some of the things that we need to check in our vehicle. Ensure that you do this before pre-trip inspection. This is another documentation of vehicles. We are talking of your vehicle is incomplete without current vehicle papers. These are the vehicle papers now. If you look at this, there is no provision for driver's license because that's a personal document. If you look here, the document, you will see a provision for vehicle number. Your vehicle number must be there because this chart is not made for only one vehicle. It's made for all the company fleets. Therefore, assuming AG 252ABT is the vehicle we are inspecting, we now go to the vehicle license. We find out If the expiration date of that vehicle license is 20th March, you go to the column of March and you put 20th there. So that just glancing through the chart, you will know when every vehicle document is expiring. Then you again move to insurance. You discover that you did not insure, you did not get that certificate the same time with vehicle license. Instead, you got it in May. You are now going to go to the column of May. Instead of 20th that you wrote on the other one, you got this on the 1st. You put 1st under May. Then you go to roadworthiness. Roadworthiness certificate. You also do the same. Let's assume that is December 31st. You go to the column of December and you put 31st there. Then we talk of MC, that is maintenance stroke service. Whenever you service a vehicle or you maintain the vehicle, mostly servicing, yes, periodical service, you have to indicate the date there to tell us when next you are supposed to do this. The purpose of this chart is for you to just, you hang it in either the supervisor or the general manager's office so that whenever a driver wants to go out, he goes there to just take a glance of it to know that my vehicle that I'm using is in good condition. Do not forget, this does not also deprive the driver from physically checking the document in his vehicle. And before we conclude, I still want to say something. If these documents are held by the company, because not all companies like releasing the original documents, and they do not want to give photocopies in case of vehicle theft and this, then they will use their headed paper to type and sign, make it authentic, that the documents of this vehicle are complete, but they are kept by the company, either transport manager. In case of any emergency, call on this number. They put the number there. That is the way some of the company operates. So be clear with this. Then we come to conclusion. With all we've said, do not forget that land transport is of importance. Even if you want to travel by air, by sea, by rail, you must start by road and you must end by road. There's no tendency. Considering the present high cost of vehicles procurement and the importance of personnel involved in land transportation, there is a great need for fleet operators to be guided with this presentation. We'll be glad if everybody can comply with this presentation. I thank all of you for listening, and I wish you will comply. Why? I will be expecting questions from you, because questions give us an inbuilt safety. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for the justice you have done to this presentation. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we are expecting questions.
Can I ask
Apart from question, contributions
Daniel?
could also be there.
Okay, we have Ashok. Ashok, thank you. I saw your hand earlier. So just go ahead with your question. And thanks for joining us from Kuwait.
Thank you, Daniel. First, I would like to congratulate our ambassador, Nakpodia Felix, for delivering this valuable session.
Ashok, I'm quite happy that you joined us in spite of your tight schedule. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
I joined as soon as I saw it is a Nakpodia session. I decided to join.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Only one thing I want to contribute here today. Today we are on 7th November. Exactly after 1 week, that is on November 15th, there is a United Nations Day, which is called the World Day for Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims. So this is observed on all over the world. I'm sure Nigeria is part of that also, observing this particular day. I thank and congratulate Nigeria chapter for hosting this particular webinar related to the same World Day and related to the traffic safety and other things. So I'm looking forward for more webinars from Nigeria chapter. I first would like to thank our Nakpodia, who was instrumental in establishing Nigeria chapter back in 2007. I was there in that board meeting, and
Thank
he's
you.
continued to support. So thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure to be part of today's webinar.
Yeah. Ashok, we thank you so much. You've always been present in every of the Nigerian chapter activity, and we continue to appreciate your love for this chapter. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Your contribution is well observed, and during future lectures, it will be surely be incorporated into it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the floor is open. Let's take all the questions, contribution before we present the certificate. I guess Dise Oba is ready to make his contribution or question.
Right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Can hear me. Okay,
Can
my
hear
name
you.
is
Go
Dise
ahead.
Oba. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful presentation.
Yes,
It was
thank you
very
for increasing your voice. Yeah.
It was very informative. But I have a few questions to ask you.
Yes.
First of
Go
all,
on.
is the speed limiter a type of IVMS? We say speed limiter is a type of IVMS. Secondly, I don't know if you take it one after the other. I should just ask all the questions I have.
Okay, let me take it one after the other. When we are talking of monitoring things, the IVMS is road limit, speed limiter is not a part of IVMS. The monitoring system is purely on confidential or secret way of monitoring the driver. But the speed limiter is external. What I mean by external, both the passengers, everybody will know at once that the driver is going above the speed. And we have various types of speed limiters. Get it clear. Some speed limiters, they will sound, they will give you a sound when you are exceeding that speed limit. But there are some that they will not give you any signal. They will automatically cut off. So as long as you are accelerating, the accelerator does not accept your acceleration. That is another type of speed limiter. So we have two types of speed limiters. So the speed limiter is also for monitoring, but it's not in vehicle monitoring. It is out because everybody can read that. But the in-vehicle monitoring system, they can only be removed and they will be analyzed to tell the driver the areas it went wrong. The same thing with microsound. Microsound, for instance, you are negotiating a curve with a higher speed. It will record it against you. You may be driving alone. There is no passenger to help you determine that. But at long last, your company will fake the microsound. And by the time they start analyzing it, it will tell you that you overspeed in a negotiating place. So this is the answer to that. Give me a second question.
Thank you, sir. The journey management plan, is it vital, or how vital is it in fleet operations? And whose duty is it to develop the JMP? Is it the duty of the fleet team or the duty of the HS team?
Journey manager. Look, we are only talking of land transport now. Journey management is not restricted to only land transport. In waterborne operation, we have journey management. In air, we have journey management. So we should not only just think that it is for land. No. Then the function, there is a journey manager. If you look at those charts, there is either a journey manager or journey supervisor. So those are the people in charge of preparing it. In the absence of those people, if you have a sound safety officer who monitors this in a company that is not strong enough to have both safety manager and journey management manager, he can double his job. I'm talking of the safety manager or safety officer by doing this. As a matter of fact, when I was in OTS, Overseas Technical Service, I was the transport manager. I was doing it, but in my absence, sometimes the safety manager, he does it.
Okay, sir. The last question, is it like a violation or is there any law against an organization or a company who handles lots of fleet or take part in fleet operations but do not have a journey management plan?
Yes, I'm sorry to use that word because this is a public forum. I'm sorry to use that word that in Nigeria, it is difficult for us to enforce. We have the 4 E's in safety: enlightenment, engineering, education, and enforcement. You see, enforcement is supposed to always be the last. If you do enlightenment, you do education, you do engineering, and they are refusing to adhere, then you go to enforcement. But it's difficult, it's shameful that in Nigeria, the enforcement is always very difficult with us. Otherwise, Federal Road Safety Commission has a unit that goes around vehicle fleet operators who are supposed to comply with all the rules. Therefore, it's an offense, only that it could be overlooked since there is no good enforcement from the people in charge. Otherwise, it's an offense if you do not comply with these rules and regulations, because you are endangering the life of passengers, and passengers are also human.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much, sir.
Can I ask any question?
Thank you.
In order to make it orderly, we always encourage that participants to raise their hands if they want to ask any question, or drop it in the chat box. But we're going to take you, Kingsley, but any other person that will have a question should raise their hand so that we'll recognize. Go ahead, Kingsley.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kingsley, you're welcome.
Ambassador Nakpodia, I raise my hand, I raise my leg, I greet you, I fall down with my belly on the ground. God bless you.
You are always a funny guy. Go on.
Yes, the question is very straight. Just like you were trying to be a bit careful. In Nigeria, in organizations where you have fleets, most times they have a transport department. And sometimes some of these journey management or transport system or unit is either attached to admin and so on. And then if a safety man comes to now try to enforce or say these are the right things that should be done in fleet management, there's usually a clash, especially when a person that is made the vehicle or transportation manager does not have an idea of what safety is all about. Just like most of the people who drive the vehicles, they don't even know what safety is all about. So my question is, how do we manage to get safety infused into all these units that are likely to be different from HSC, but have maybe management approval for them to run their fleet in a company where they use a whole lot of transportation systems, whether it's on water, on land, and so on and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy that you asked the question and you answer a part of it, because knowing what Nigeria is all about. Institute like Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, you see, they are supposed to work in hand with the Federal Road Safety Commission. I'm saying they are supposed to work in hand. I'm using this word because those people, Federal Road Safety Commission, are purely for road activities. That's why I'm saying they are supposed to, because in as much as Institute of Safety Professionals is for all arms of safety, it therefore means that if it comes to air, they should liaise with those in the air. If it comes to road, they should liaise with Federal Road Safety Commission, so that these rules, they can be highly implemented. For example, do you know that ordinary filling of this manifest by passengers, some passengers will bluntly refuse to fill, and some will fill their own names. When you say next of kin, they may not fill anybody there. Then when you say next of kin phone number, they will put their personal phone number. Those are the ones who manage to agree to fill it. And it will shock you that in case of an accident, which we do not pray for, when we are trying to contact that particular number, if that guy is a victim in the accident, that phone is expected to be ringing in his pocket instead of ringing in the next of kin that we are supposed to contact. So they make things very complicated for us. But to cut long story short, I'm coming back to that, my word. If we Nigerians can do more of enforcement, we are always having the laws, the rules in place, but to enforce it, that is where we water it. We have to give conception. This man is a brother to the governor, so forget his case. This one is brother to the senator president. It's not supposed to be so. A law is supposed to be enforced irrespective of who breaks the law or who breaks the rule. So this is my little answer to your question.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other question or contribution? Okay. It's like there's none.
Nobody asks, tire is of vital distance. I thought people were going to ask. Nobody asks of, might be time of expiration of tires and this, that. You are just limiting yourself to the small presentation, because
Okay,
we have lives.
Ambassador, please just throw more light on that. If they have
Yes.
refused to ask, I think they will still get some.
When I talk of ply and radial tire, there are some tires with vertical cutting. Vertical, the way they are, the way they are manufactured is vertically. The splines. If the splines are vertical, it means the 4 tires you must use, the 5 including the spare, they must be vertical. Do not use some that are vertical and the other one that are straight. No. Therefore, you must ensure that you use the same type of tire. Then again, I'm talking of the expiration dates. There are always dates written in every tire. If you look, you will see an eclipse. Eclipse is not a perfect round circle. It's like an egg. You will see something written there, 2004. If you see 2004, it therefore means that that tire is manufactured in the 20th week of 2004. The period or the date of expiration is never written in tires, so don't be misled. It is only the date of manufacturing, and tires are expected to expire in 3 years' time, but depending on the usage. Listen to that clause. For a fleet operator always going to Abuja every day or coming from Abuja on weekly basis, you do not expect that tire with yours who bought and you are using your own private vehicle in your own way. You can never replace your tires at the same time. It is expected that the one doing commercial will worn out before that 3 years. Therefore, be rest assured that your time of replacing your tire is not the same time with that man who operates a commercial vehicle. So take note of this. And do not ask me tire the temperature for, or the gauge for the pressure for tires. There is no specific pressure for any type of vehicle. The pressure of your tires, they come with the manufacturer's handbook, because gone are the days that vulcanizers, they mislead us by pumping almost all our vehicles 40, 30, they use their own discretion. Please make sure that you get your handbook, or go to the manufacturers. They will tell you, if you do not have a handbook, they will tell you the actual TPI your tire needs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have Lawal Bulama's hand off. Let's hear you, Bulama.
My ambassador, thank you very much for your presentation. I would really appreciate. Mine is just let me call it a contribution to the statement regarding to the tire that you have just explained more. I think if we can look at the tires in our cars, we will notice that there are a lot of write-up on the tires.
Yes.
A lot of write-up from point A to the Z that you will go around the tire. You will see a lot of write-ups there. Each write-ups there have a meaning. The manufacturers have a meaning to it. They didn't put it just for sake of beautifying the tire or something of that nature. I think to explain detail of what those names, those letters, those figures and numbers on that tire can even be a topic of itself, because if we look at it, they are numerous, there are many, and each of them have a meaning to it and has a specific purpose of putting it there. I don't know if we may be glad if my ambassador, you would take time, maybe some time to give us more lecture on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I can still lay hands on a specific handout we prepared only on tires by ASSP Nigerian chapter. Federal Road Safety Commission has one, and I kept a copy. And ASSP also have one. During one of our meetings, we distributed them the other time. I will try to lay hands on one and distribute, most probably, if I can lay hands on it, during our meeting coming up on the 21st of this month at PTI Conference Center. I will endeavor to bring and distribute. Thank you very much for that, your contribution. And that's why I specifically said, among all the write-up in the tire, there's a provision in an eclipse, because so that people do not share other numbers there. The eclipse on is only four figures. It does not more than 4 figures. Either 40, this, that. So thank you for this. You've reminded me. I'm going to resurface that. Yes.
Ambassador, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll also, when we get that, we can also do it in soft copy for those who are not within. They will be able to also.
Okay, we don't mind.
Yeah, we'll do that after the.
I'm happy that the secretary will help me about that. I just give you one hard copy, and yes, that's why you are the engine room of the chapter.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that. So we have the CA Oba. You still have something to say? Your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question on the tires. Can we, if we have a truck and maybe the front tires don't seem too good and they cannot replace the tires immediately, is it possible to move the front tires to the rear, to the back, and then move maybe 2 good tires to the front?
Okay, thank you so much. I am not just for the benefit of every one of us. A very little correction. Anything about motor vehicle, plane, train, and ship, we always prefer using that word rear. It's rear instead of back. But all the same, let me go straight to your question. When we are talking of, there is none of the tire that is not important, or no portion of the vehicle that is not important. That method of swapping tires, it is when a particular part of the tire is worn out, not when the tire completely is bad. When it is bad for the front wheel, it is also bad for the rear wheel. That's the truth. But assuming that the tire is overpumped and you have wear at the center, because when you overpump your tire, it is only at the center that you will have wear because it's not properly balanced. Therefore, it's like overpumped football. Only the middle will be going down, will be eating fastly. In such a case, it is such tire you can take to the rear. Or you underpumped the tires and the two edges are worn out. It is such tires you can also take to the rear. But when the whole tire is completely worn out, it is neither good for the front nor back nor rear. It's not good for any of them. If it's not good, it's not good. Gone are the days that if our tire is becoming bad, we transfer it to spare. The spare is the most essential tire in the vehicle in case of emergency. Now that Nigeria is quite unsafe when we talk of security, if you put a bad tire as a spare tire into your vehicle, it's from squatting to squatting. It means you've not done anything. So that's my simple answer for you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. The last question is going to be from Emmanuel Sule. That'll be the last question for this session. Emmanuel Sule, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Ambassador.
Yeah.
My question goes like this: if we have for a car, you have the 4 tires, and you want to change out 2 out of it with new ones, where is the most suitable position to put them, whether at the rear or in front, sir?
It's rear. It's rear. You know, people, look, let me tell you, I'm proud to say that I did motor mechanic 3 years in a local workshop before. So, you see, we have a very wrong feeling that the front, once the front burst, motor goes somersault, person go die. And that's why people consider the front. You see, do not forget that for the fact that the engine is at the front, for new tires, they are expected to be at the rear. We've always said this. There was a cause of argument and I brought, okay, maybe during the next meeting too, I will bring a publication on that. You see, on the front and the rear, it is expected that the new tires are supposed to be at the rear. We should not just assume that front is most important because once front tire burst, we are always having that negative and local notion that the front is more important. And no, it's like the notion of ember month, that every ember month, that's the time winches and wizards they operate. It's not correct. Ember simply means a visaged moment, bringing everybody rushing. Ember, a visaged moment, bringing everybody rushing. That's the way I style ember. Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador. We appreciate your rich presentation and the contribution from the audience. The questions actually made us understand more about the subject, and looking forward to look at, we'll consider that presentation on tires specifically. So we want to appreciate you, Sir Ambassador. I will present this certificate of recognition to you, Ambassador FEK Nakpodia, for volunteering in ASSV Nigeria chapter as a speaker on vehicle fleet management during the knowledge sharing series is 12th of November 7, 2020. It's just in fulfillment of our ritual that we're giving you this certificate. I know that you already have enough of this and you are just giving back to the society that you founded. So we appreciate you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. I will acknowledge the receipt of this certificate. Professors, they still learn. So anybody,
Okay.
yes, when professors are learning, they mislead us by saying we are doing some research. There is no difference between research and learning. So every day we learn, like my still giving some lectures now, questions are also making me to learn the more. So when you say, yeah, although I have very many certificates, this is an additional certificate and is carrying another name and another symbol. So this is why it is very, very acceptable to me. Thank you. On behalf of myself, I thank the entire audience and the chapter as a whole. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, our presenter that had always shared his wealth of experience with us any moment we call him. You don't spend time with Papa Nakpodia without taking something home. The presentation today had reflected that again. We're very grateful. Thank you so, so much. I want to thank every participant for taking our time to be in today's section, the 12th section. Vehicle fleet maintenance. We are all drivers, or we stay in the vehicle. With our profession, we manage vehicles at one point or the other, or carry out audits. So this presentation was very important, and I know that a lot of us had learned. I had learned today as well. There's one thing, my own contribution before I conclude. During our audits, we find out that most times our transport sections in our various organizations do what Ambassador had told us to do. Go into the logbook, fill the journey management plan. But there's always a clause, and that's the closeout. Many companies do not record their closeouts. And we discovered that during audit a lot. So I will encourage us as professionals and ensure and insist that closeout of journeys are carried out all the time you initiate a journey. It is very important. Many don't go back to it, they close back verbally. They tend to go back to documents and they eventually don't record it. So make sure that you follow this up because it's very important. Thank you. So on that note, we want to thank you. Thank Ashok for joining us. You're always welcome to Nigerian chapter. Thank you for the love that you have for us. Thank our students that are here with us, our past students. I can see some past presidents that are students with us. I can see some supervisors and top managers. Time will not permit me to mention your name, but I appreciate you all for taking our time to share this moment with us. We are very grateful. November is a month for transportation safety. And this month is very rich because we are cutting across road, rail, aviation, and management. So I would want you to keep in touch with us as we have experts in various fields wanting to share their experience with us concerning this field. And then especially our ambassador today is the coordinator for the month of November. So I'm coordinating on his behalf today because he is presenting. So we are going to be having more of his inputs with other presenters and in different areas. We thank you, Ambassador, for volunteering to take this role to coordinate for us for the month of November. We are having our next section for next month, for next Saturday as well, which is the 13th section. And then 21st is our bi-monthly meeting. It's a special date for us. It's the first face one-on-one meeting that we'll be having after the pandemic. So we are all expecting you all to join us for that section. We'll be unveiling our e-library project, and a lot will be done on that day. So the executive is preparing. Worry members are preparing to receive you all. So please, if you're going to be coming, reach out to any of our executives, reach out to me for us to make accommodation available to you. We have booked the conference center, was renovated of late. We had booked and had reduced the cost to 7,000 naira. We will share that at the general platform from next week. So please reach out guests to join us on Unveil our e-library. So we're looking forward to you making it a wonderful day for us. So see you next week for our next 13th section of our knowledge sharing series. Until then, thank you. Stay blessed. Keep safe and God bless.
Okay, thank you, President. For the audience, we wish you a safe day. Thank you.